Welcome back friends, this is Fraser from Art Studio. So friends, in this tutorial we learn how to create the long hair for a female using a single poly. So we'll start with taking a cube. You can take the cube from create under polygon primitives. Note that the interactive creation is on. Now that it's on, I'm getting this plus sign and the arrow to drag it from wherever I want. So I'll just select this portion till about the ears. So on the front, switch to the right view and drag it out this much to get approximately a cube. And once I've got that, note the first thing you should do is always it should be in the middle. Now we have done eyeballing it, so it will not be completely in the center. So you can see the translate x is 0.009. It should be completely 0. So turn it to 0. So it is completely in the middle. And now if you're working with symmetry, it will work fine. The next step is just try to align it with the head. We'll be using this cube to turn it into a sphere, okay, but not a normal sphere. For that, we'll simply go to the mesh menu and hit smooth. Once we hit smooth, if we turn the wireframe on, we can see in the first division 1 it is something like this. So we want to turn the division to 2 and we'll simply scale it such that it is covering the head somewhat like this from the front and the back. So you can see from here as well, you can just increase this a little bit more. So you should be getting something like this. So once you've got something like this, now we'll delete the front faces over here and we'll delete the bottom faces over here. So as you can see that we are trying to create a basic model of the hair for a female character over here, which will act as a base mesh, or you can also use it as a mid to low poly hair for animations and cartoon with a little more variation in it. So first of all, I'll try to get the shape and the form around the front of the head to get the style, okay, using the vertices with this low poly mesh over here we have. And once we have attained that, we will gradually keep increasing the subdivisions to increase the poly count, hence getting more detail. Coming around to the ear area where the side blocks will be there. So we need a few more edges over here. So we'll bevel this edge and then I'll use the edit edge flow to smoothen it out. Now we'll be deleting these couple of faces around the ears. We can tweak this part later on. I'll leave it like this for now. See the areas around the head which needs to be broader and which needs to be flatter. So flatter around the forehead in the front and broader towards the back. Coming to the back of the hair from where the long hair will grow. So we'll select this edge, these edges, and we'll extrude it. Extrude it a couple of times, 2-3 times to get the flow of the hair and the thickness of the hair, the volume of the hair. So we'll scale it a bit and we'll also translate it. This is a basic hairstyle with a straight hair more or less. So this tutorial is mainly for the beginners. Those who are doing advanced hair sculpting, this is just basic for them. But those who are just started to learn in Maya, for them this method will be useful. Unless you know ZBrush, you can also create this kind of base hair in ZBrush by sculpting it. So Oh, the deformations with the vertex will be going on for a certain point, and then gradually we'll move to other tools to get the form and shape fixed. So just follow along and see how I'm doing the process. I'm telling you the tools and techniques I've been using on my way. So once I get the basic shape and size in the form, it's now time to use the lattice tool. So from the deform menu, scroll down to the lattice deformer. And as you can see in the channel box, we have the division counts. So the three division counts will give you the XYZ uh, grids. So you can increase that based on the portions you want to influence and select the lattice points. Just like you have control vertex for curves and vertices, you have the lattice points for the lattice deformer. So you can select that. You can also use soft selection if you want. And using the transform, you can deform the shape or the object in bulk. Instead of using the vertex, singly selected vertex, you can select it a larger area, and it is easier and more convenient to tweak the shape using the lattice deformer. Once you're happy, just select the mesh and read the history to remove the deformer. I just soften the edges. Now the basic shape is ready with the lower poly version. So once that's done, we'll subdivide it once more so that we can do the further detailing. So subdivision level increased by 1. So it's smoother now, and we'll further detail and tweak the style. But before that, we'll extrude it to give it thickness. So extrude it enough so that it enters the scalp and also gives us some volume. We'll reverse the normal from the mesh display. That will remove the black shade. And now just tweak it a bit. See where the penetration is taking place to get it out of the scalp. It's now time for us to do the basic seams and partitions of the hair. So we'll select these two edges and we'll use the slide edge tool to slide it towards the center edge. I will select the center edge loop, not the loop, center edges, and we'll push it in to create the dent or create the partition margin. So as you can see, this is a generic style for middle parting, where from the middle the hair will flow sidewards in the front portion with a little bit of puff in the front. So I'll be lifting up this portion to create that puffed hair. And then I'll be adding a few more edges to create some kind of hair flowing towards sides behind this puff. So for that, I'll select these three edges and I'll bevel them. So I'll bevel them and I'll select the middle edges and then I'll push it in so that it creates this kind of a form. So this is a basic and simple stylized look which I'm creating, which you can use for stylized or cartoon style characters. In case of realistic hair, we don't create it like this. So either you use plain cards or you use different kind of Axion hairs or hairs in other using other plugins or in ZBrush. So this is mainly for cartoon or stylized kind of hair. But anyways, you can follow the style and you can follow the method which I'm doing and the tools I'm using in order to achieve this style. We can further use this as a base template for creating the hairs on top, hair strands on top, which I'll be doing in the next tutorial using the sweep mesh tool for creating longer hair strands from the back as from the sides as well. So that will give a different kind of look or hairstyle. Or you can just leave this as it is and use it in cartoon animation. So I'll be selecting these edges at the back. And very simply, I'll try to scale it down and push it in. As you can see, very basic straight hair. I'll select these alternate edges and pull them out to give more variation in the shape over here. Although it will be very faint, but that's enough for this style. And to just demonstrate you how we can do this kind of hair very quickly. So for me, this looks very pretty good for a basic hairstyle. Now a little bit of cleanup required since we did beveling over here. So I'll add these edges to remove the ends and turn them into chords. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you learned something from it. And if you have, please give a thumbs up, like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So this looks pretty good. I'll add a blackish kind of shader just for the look. Next, as you can see from the back portion behind the neck, there's a gap between the scalp and the hair. So we need to select the back of the head, this part of the hair, and with soft selection on, we can just pull it in the front towards the scalp, towards the back of the head, and towards the neck region as well, so that the hair appears to be emerging from there instead of a gap from the top of the head, which will not look nice in the camera when the camera moves closer to the character. So these are small little things you need to be careful about while creating the hair. So this looks pretty good and fine. But if you still want to do further variation or modification with the hair, you can use the lattice tool for that. So I'll be selecting the lattice tool from the deformer once more. Not completely wavy, but just the wavy look from the front by using the lattice deformer. I'm happy with this basic look over here with the final tweaks. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next tutorial where I'll be creating a more stylized hair using this base mesh and creating long hair as suggested by some of my subscribers and viewers. So on demand tutorial. So till then, goodbye, take care, stay safe.